Welcome back. Arlene, who do we have next?
I have Denise on line A, and she's extremely fearful of contracting AIDS.
Denise.
Hi, David.
Hi, Denise. How old are you?
24.
Go ahead. Tell me what's going on.
The main thing is I'm really fearful of coming down with the HIV virus. I work with people who have the HIV virus and or AIDS. And it's scary because too many people are coming down with it, and the various ways that they've come down with it.
What are you talking about specifically?
You know, through blood transfusion, through sex partners.
Are you a nurse?
No, I'm not.
You work in a hospice?
No, I'm a volunteer.
And you work in what kind of a setting?
I visit people and work with support groups and different things.
Okay. So what are you seeing? Too many people coming down with the disease?
Yes, with the HIV virus. There's a lot of fear because I was in the service, 85 to 87. And during that time, if you were going overseas or just for regular shots, they would use what's a, I don't remember the name of it, but it's a shotgun. And every part you just line up, they'd line everybody up and just give everybody a shot with the same, it's a gun, which does it really fast, and the same needle went into everybody's arms. And
do you know that technique was responsible in Africa for spreading the disease into wildfire? They had medical teams inoculating children, and they would hit one infected child in a village and infect all the other children. Horrible. Go ahead.
Well, I don't understand how they could even allow that. And then once the AIDS epidemic as such, you know, struck fear in everybody, then they outlawed it. But what about all of us that had that, you know, even before everybody was tested for it? You know, and I know that it takes 3 months to, 10 years to even find out that you're HIV positive. And that's really scary.
Well, this was in 1980 what?
85 to 87.
86 already. It was prevalent. The only thing you can hope is that you lucked out.
Well, not only that, but I had a blood transfusion in 89 and about, well, I think this was last year when they were end of last year and beginning of this year when they were talking about how Red Cross wasn't testing all blood. They would just test, you know, sporadically, basically, because they didn't want to spend the money or
I believe they're
test
testing.
everything.
I believe they're testing it all now.
But that's now.
I understand, but that
I was
means
in a car accident. I've had 5 surgeries, and
you're HIV negative, right?
I don't know.
Why?
The last
Why
time
haven't you tested?
Pardon me?
When did you test last?
88.
Okay, that was before your transfusion. In 89, I'm sure that the blood you got was clean. But get another test if you're concerned. I mean, why put yourself through this?
Because I don't have insurance right now.
A test is not that expensive.
It is when you're on disability and everything. I'm going in for surgery again in January.
A test is not that expensive. You can get it if you call up an AIDS hotline. I believe you can get a test for nothing.
I was told $56.
You can get a hold of $56 pretty quick, right? Don't say you can't. You can. But if you have reason to believe, call up the AIDS hotline and see what they'll tell you. Come on, don't put yourself through this. I mean, we can't do this.
You know, I think for, especially with the teenagers and everything else, I think the AIDS testing should be free, and I think it should be free for everybody.
I think everybody in the country should be tested. I think that if you have a medical license, in order to get your license renewed, you have to take an AIDS test. We talk about watching people and making sure they have sterile techniques. Well, how do you know who to watch? You know, I'm not saying a person shouldn't practice, but they certainly should be supervised, especially when there is, in the later stages of AIDS, seen in a large number of cases, an encephalopathy, a brain problem that causes aberrant, strange behavior. So we really have to be sure that we're monitoring the people. And I think this can no longer be a civil rights issue. It's an infectious disease issue.
I don't understand why it was made a civil rights issue.
Well,
We're losing people, I mean, every single day because of this.
there's a book called And the Band Played On that will give you that answer.
Who's it by?
I forget his name. He's a reporter for a newspaper in San Francisco.
I'll look for it.
Randy, I forget his last name. But I think, get tested and be sure that you stay negative. What more can I tell you?
Well, how can, I wanted to ask, how can people, I really feel sorry for Magic Johnson. I'm really sorry that it happened to him. But I think that I'm really sorry that it took Magic Johnson coming down with the HIV virus to finally show people that it can happen to anybody.
What makes you think he's going to be successful? I mean, our media has a way of burying things once it loses its thrust.
But Magic Johnson is in the eye of a lot of teenagers. He's looked up to by a lot of teenagers. And
I sure hope you're right.
Well, I do too.
But I know the American public. And you see, what Magic Johnson has going for him, okay, is that you get a bunch of ghetto kids playing basketball in their local basketball court. And a kid's dribbling the ball, and he's saying to himself, I'm Magic, I'm Magic. And he passes the ball a long pass, trying to imitate Magic's great long passes, right?
Uh-huh.
And he dances around, and he makes one of Magic's patented back passes. He says, I'm Magic Johnson. And that identity is very, very deep. And I think that has more going for it than probably anything else he has going for him, is the fact that so many people have identified in their deep gut with this man. And it's not just a matter of education. It's a matter of accepting the education that people have. And the fact is that the young people we're trying to affect have, after all, a difficult time with the sex that they have, because secret sex is always dangerous sex.